Hey everyone, it's Patrick here. It's been a long time since I've done some video, long overdue, and I've been working on a few different projects. So I want to share those with you today. Specifically, I'm going to be talking about VulnCheck community intelligence, but also our other intelligence and how you can use that with our Python SDK. Specifically, I'll be giving a demonstration of the VulnCheck Jupyter Notebooks library that we have on GitHub that we created. And I'll give you an example and walk through some of the different data here, which I'm super excited to share. So you see it on my screen, github.com/vulncheck-oss/Jupyter-notebooks. And before I get started, like what's great about this is anyone can use what I'm going to show today. So not only is it a great example of how you can use our data, operationalize it, and visualize it yourself, but really anyone can play around with this. So it's a great tool just in general to be able to poke around and learn how to use a Jupyter Notebook and learn about vulnerability exploitation and threat intelligence. So why don't we hop in? Thanks so much for listening in today on this. So I have the Jupyter Notebook here. And we have a few different examples, but specifically I'm going to go to the VulnCheck KEV example. And we built this for the community. We thought it would be interesting to provide an example so you can reiterate off it very easily. And specifically, this goes and grabs VulnCheck KEV. And this updates on a daily basis. It pulls the data down, and then it generates some statistics here, which I'll show and walk through. And then it also creates some data visualizations, but not all of them are showing. So we're going to have to actually open this up into VS Code. So I'm going to show you how to do that, how you can modify the Jupyter Notebook and leverage VulnCheck community in order to do all of this, which is really great. So I have the example Jupyter Notebook up here. The first thing in order to see all the visualizations, because there is some scripting in it, you actually have to open it in VS Code, and that's going to give us the tree maps that are interactive. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to open this in VS Code. I already have it open, but you could simply just download this and then import it into Microsoft Visual Studio, which is a free product. I'm going to hop over to Visual Studio, and we can see the full example here. So we're connecting to our API. Of course, that's specifically a token that's used in GitHub to generate this on a daily basis. I'm going to show you how to modify that with your VulnCheck account in just a second, so you can modify the whole Jupyter Notebook and do anything you want with our VulnCheck KEV. And then we pull the data down, and then once that data is pulled, then we start modifying it and visualizing it via different libraries. We do provide the libraries up top, so you know which Python libraries need to be available and imported. If these aren't there, you can pip install them, of course, as well. Now, if I scroll down, we're going to see the first, which is stats calculated. So we're comparing VulnCheck KEV and CISA KEV. We're just pulling from VulnCheck KEV, but we're inclusive of CISA KEV, and we have their fields as well. So we're able to do this quite easily, and we can see some differences between the number of vulnerabilities added in 2024 between VulnCheck KEV and CISA KEV. We can also see the average number of vulnerabilities that have exploitation evidence per month comparison, unique vendors, unique products. And then the next thing we want to do is we want to be able to explore the actual data. So we created tree maps from VulnCheck KEV. And these tree maps you can explore. So this is what you're not able to see in GitHub because it doesn't run the scripting natively in order to do this. But we can poke around and we can look at Microsoft, for instance, and we see 30 CVE vulnerabilities that were captured as exploited in 2024, but a lot of different software. So just interesting from an exploration perspective. I try and continually normalize the data in VulnCheck KEV. So as much as possible, it's centers on a single product or company. As vuln data, we all know, can be misspellings and all sorts of different stuff. So we normalize as much of it as possible. This actually helps us identify where there might be gaps, like, should we normalize Chromium and Chrome and a few other Chromiums down here? Probably. So I'll probably go and do that after this call. Then we have a look at CISA KEV, right? So a little bit different perspective. Much less number of vulnerabilities, very well-known products, pervasive typically. Some interesting ones, like if I go up here, we can look at Adobe. You don't see any Flash Player, I don't believe, but there was some added to CISA KEV. We had that years prior from an evidence perspective. So, allows you to kind of explore and see some of the differences. And then the other thing I want to do is just map via a calendar plot. This is inspired by Jerry Gamblin, who's got CVE.ICU, a pretty cool project. So a calendar plot. What we see here in 2024 is, a pretty consistent amount of exploitation evidence being disclosed for the first time across many different CVEs. As I mentioned, I think we're at this point in the year, we're about 700. So I want to create this so like going into the end of the year, we really knew, what it's looked like historically. And then this can continue. We can adjust it for 2025. So it'll be continually tracking, easy to look at and get access to. We capture evidence all days of the week, but certainly on the weekends it's going to be lighter. A lot of people aren't publishing exploitation evidence. Researchers a lot of times aren't working. Commonly we see on the weekends projects like Shadow Server that appear to be spinning up. Honeypots would be a good example of some of the things that are more automated. If we look at CISA KEV, a bit different, right? So a lot more sparse throughout the year in general. I think Tuesday is the busiest day of the week, and that coincides likely with Patch Tuesday, which we think is interesting. And then government doesn't work on the weekends. I mean, data says it all. Saturday, Sunday, they don't publish vulnerabilities. They rarely publish one on Friday. I think only 4 instances so far this year. So just interesting, but much sparser, much focused from a perspective with CISA. A lot of pervasive products, as I kind of mentioned before. Not so much the long tail of things like open source projects that you see. And then the last thing I want to create, I just want to look at like over time CISA KEV, like how frequently is there evidence available publicly. So we use VulnCheck KEV where we have dates that are added when the exploitation evidence was available. And so for instance, 53.4% of vulnerabilities were seen publicly a month or prior to when they were added to CISA KEV. In some instances, like those flash vulnerabilities I mentioned earlier, we have 4 years prior. So with that being said, what I want to do is kind of show you how we can make this work. So you can simply sign up for VulnCheck community. If you go to VulnCheck.com, and there's a top right, or if you already have access, and then you simply just type in your email address. I'm adding additional characters. And I'm going to continue with a verification code. When I do this, I'm just going to move this over to my other screen. And then we're going to use this to generate an API key so we can show you just how easy it is to get this operational and running. Thanks for being patient with me. I'm just waiting on that email. Oh, there it is. I just need to refresh. It's always there fast. So now I'm going to verify the code. I'm going to log in, and this is our free version I'm using, so anyone can have access to this. I can then go to PG in the corner, click tokens. I'm going to create a token, so I'm going to go back to this being on the other screen for a second. And I'm just going to click that little button that you saw a moment ago and create a token, and I'm going to call it Jupyter Notebook. Now I'm going to issue that token, and I'll copy it to my clipboard. So I'm not showing you this piece, but Basically, now what you're going to see in the console, now that I can bring it back here, is a Jupyter Notebook token was generated, which I copied. And if I go back to my Jupyter Notebook, all we have to do is modify where it says token. I'm going to put in quotes. And then once again, I'm going to copy my key over. So I'm going to move it to my other screen, the key that was provided. And I'm going to minimize this section just so that you can't see my key. That's all. And I'll delete the key after the recording as well. But now I can run this locally on my own laptop or my own device or my own GitHub project. And so I can just simply click this run all button, and I can also add additional attributes, modifications. So I'm going to click run all. I'm going to click Python environment. I'll select 3.12. It's going to run. It's currently connecting, and then we'll see that connects, and then we're downloading the data. So this is all VulnCheck KEV, and it took all of 5.9 seconds. And then it does the chart generation itself. So I could make modifications if I wanted to add additional attributes from VulnCheck KEV. So a good way to look at additional attributes is I could go back to my browser, and essentially on this dashboard, we can go to VulnCheck KEV, and there's going to be a few different places, but we can look up the project send vulnerability. There's some exploitation evidence here, but I can actually open this up, and we're going to see here what attributes are available. So there's things like CWEs, XDB, reported exploitation links, date added. So a lot of these I'm already pulling in, vendor project, product name. I don't know that I added known ransomware campaign use. So I could add that attribute, and then I could pivot off that in the Jupyter Notebook. And I already did, right? So here you see the known ransomware campaign use is already added. And then I have to add that to cursor, and then I generate that in my data frame, and then I can generate charts off of that as well. So really simple, easy to use, modify. And then if you're a commercial customer, you can use this with other API endpoints as well. I do have in the repo for Jupyter Notebooks, if I go back here, we can look, and I created another example of exploitation timelines, and this uses our exploits feed, which is our commercial feed. And we can see here, if I scroll down, this generates a chart of time to exploitation for 2023 from when the CVE was published, and then also did this for 2024 and did a cool overlay to provide the two different examples. So a lot of fun, cool things you can do with the data. As far as data visualization, Jupyter Notebooks is a really cool tool if you want to poke around and learn. Also, I would emphasize you can reiterate on these things also in combination with tools like ChatGPT if you're not super technical to try and look at different perspectives or try different things. And then also, shout out to Jerry Gamblin. I think the CVE ICU project is a good place for inspiration as well. So all free to use from a community perspective, at least, the VulnCheck KEV and the KEV Jupyter Notebooks, which is super cool. You can use the SDK, Python SDK directly as well now, which is awesome too. So if you have any questions, looking for different perspectives as far as data visualizations, charts, for me as a researcher, this is a pretty powerful tool because now I can essentially automate a lot of the work that I was doing, which was a combination of scripting and then manual processes, getting it visualized. And you can continually update it. So you can add it in this instance. What you see in our Jupyter Notebooks is we have a workflow and a YAML file, which essentially triggers this to run. And I think it runs, I don't know if the time is, I think every 12 hours is that, as far as the frequency in which it updates. So pretty sweet. Feel free to check it out.